Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Dawn Huffy and I am the owner of Liberty Belle Coaching. And my life coaching certifications came through the Brave Thinking Institute. Today I want to talk about our strengths. God gave us all different strengths, different capabilities, and sometimes we start using too much of our strength and we get ourselves into trouble. Yes, we do. Now, God talked to me about this last year and I want to share his answer. And my question is, what is it like to be divine in human form? And his answer to me starts out with the word hone, Hone. And to hone means to work hard, perfecting or sharpening a skill. Okay, so his answer was hone your strengths and use them well. You will derive so much satisfaction from living in and sharing those strengths. I designed each and every one of you with specific characteristics. I will caution you though, when you overuse a strength, it can become a detriment, so be very much aware of that. As an example, you may have the characteristic of persistence, and this will help you strive to achieve so much. But when you overuse persistence, you become belligerent, and no one appreciates that type of behavior from anyone. When you notice yourself crossing the line from being a benefit to being a detriment, pull back all of that overdoing. Apologize when necessary. Even apologize to yourself, because generally the most damage that is done to yourself is done by yourself. Be gentle about mistakes. You all make missteps and mistakes. Do your best to see how to self-correct and move along on your journey to greatness. Peace be with you. Amen. I got this answer on Monday, October 10th of 2022. So God is warning us about overusing our strengths because we become belligerent when we do. And belligerent means to be inclined or eager to fight, hostile or aggressive, engaged in warfare. We do not want to go there. No, we don't. And generally, just like God says, when we are hurt or damaged, a lot of the times we're doing it to ourselves and we just don't recognize that we're in charge of a lot of that. I want to share with you out of this great book called U Squared, and I'm going to read out of the chapter Quit Trying Harder. And this book is by Price Pritchett. And on page 10, he says trying harder and harder starts producing less and less. Sometimes, in fact, intensifying your efforts produces nothing except bigger problems. Yes, it does. We start pushing with our strengths too much and we end up in problems with other people. And he goes on to say more effort isn't the answer. A couple of years ago, I went to a Christian's women's gathering and I won these beautiful cards. They are called Prayers for a Woman's Heart by Stormy, I think you pronounce her name, O'Martian. And so there are all these pretty cards inside, and they have a Bible verse on one side and a prayer on the other side. And I want to read the Bible verse that comes from 2 Corinthians 12:9, talking about strength. And it says, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. So when we cross the line with our strengths and we fall into being actually boisterous and we actually get weaker, what we really need to do is to step back and ask for God's wisdom and God's strength. Because what we're doing is going against ourselves, going against others. So Price Pritchett says you've got to shift gears. You have to follow new patterns of thought and action. So doing something different. Quit trying harder with your strengths that you're good at, because yes, it can get us into trouble. So just recognize and see if you can notice what you're noticing. Notice when you're in an interaction with someone and you start pushing too hard, and I've got to be aware of this too. You can tell when someone is feeling uncomfortable and just stop yourself and say, uh-oh, what's going on here? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to change? How can I shift gears here? Okay, great. All right, so thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. The frame rate. Huh.